All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting started with our final race of the marathon now. Um, as I said before, it is a Metroid fusion race between Herculesbenchpress and CScottyW with commentary here from Rasu. So, welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you so much for participating.
Hello, everyone.
Really looking forward to the race, guys. It's going to be incredibly hype. I hope it's a close one. Nail biter, those are always the best. And I'm going to pop back to our runners and count them in so we can get this party started. Best of luck to the guys running, and talk to you guys soon.
All right. Well, this is the last run of the marathon. If you don't know, my name is Rasu, Ross123, Ross. You could call me either one of those. It's fine. This is a race between CScottyW and Herculesbenchpress, both veteran runners. Scotty is a world record holder for every single category of every single GPA game, and Herc is really good at the game. I don't know what to say. As far as I know, they are the only two 1% hard runners. You'll notice immediately that they're running on Japanese because Japanese is the only version that features a hard mode. And you'll also notice that it's 1% and not 0% because there is a missile tank that is supposedly impossible to skip. There is one way to get it, but it requires 7 frames of leniency between 4 or 5 jumps, if I remember correctly. It basically tasks, or requires a lot of pause buffering. It's a really difficult trick that they're not going to do. So, as a result, we have a 1% category. 0% is possible on English due to some out-of-bounds shenanigans that both of these runners also know how to do. All right, so as they get started here, do we have any predictions in the chat? Who's gonna win? Can we get like a bid war to see who will win, and at the by the end of the game, whoever is winning that bid war should be scripted to win? Can we do that? All right, it looks like they're getting started here. Scotty with a slight lead, probably due to some stream delay, and they're off.
All right, well, how about we start us off with a couple donations first?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, so Canster786 donated $15 with the comment, I wanted to drop some money for this awesome marathon. Great job, runners, tech host, and everyone in between. Now let's bring it home. And we also had $17.29 from the Hockey Towner. It says, let's do it. 4K, here we come. So that brings our total to exactly $3,800, guys. So we are now $200 away from our $4,000 goal with just this last run to go. Can we do it? Let's find out.
Oh, I think we can do it for sure. Thanks for the donations, guys. Scotty here is in the lead by about a room. Herc not too far behind. As you saw there, they killed a Hornode, the only enemy that exists early in this game, and it's kind of the story enemy. They figure out that the Hornode is infected with some kind of parasite called the X parasite, and a lot of letters here. Something about you're not strong enough. Go get some missiles. So they're gonna go ahead and get some missiles. So they're coming up on the first boss here in a couple minutes. Arachnus, first featured, I believe, in Metroid 2, which gave you the spring ball, I think. Please don't get mad if I don't remember. In this case, Arachnus will give them the morph ball. It's very interesting that I think Metroid Fusion is the only game where you don't start out either already having morph or picking morph up as the first item. Here they are at the data center, getting their first of 2 missile packs that they're going to get for the rest of the game. More text here, something about the elevator shut off, so they'll have to find an alternate way to progress. It turns out that the ventilation shaft can be blown up by a missile as they make their way down. You see them skip some missiles here. And they encounter the first RNG-based thing. The eye door can shoot up to 4 beams. In this case, Scotty gets 1 so far. Both runners here attempting the double missile. Herc takes the lead with a good execution on that double missile. Scotty missed it, so he'll be falling behind here. Be careful not to pick up the Z-Tank. This is 1%. And our first boss of the game, Arachnus. Arachnus has some RNG element in his fight. Can roll, however, since they're not spamming missiles at Arachnus in normal or easy, you'll definitely see more rolls from him. Scotty having a little bit of difficulty while Herc had a perfect fight, basically. Scotty's in danger of dying here, but he manages to dispatch Arachnus. Oh, missing the double. And he follows up with the double in the last round. A double missile, there are 2 kinds of double missiles, one for the door, which requires 2 horizontal double missiles, where both missiles will hit the door on the same frame. In this case, the vertical double missile hits the Core X at the same frame. The Core X looks like a circle, but its hitbox is actually a square. So it's possible to do that kind of thing against the Core X. As they make their way out of the main deck, they'll be talking to Adam once again. Adam says something about Sector 1 being infected with something. I don't remember. Anyway, they go check it out. Adam loves tasking Samus with strange missions. The T-Virus, that's it. Scotty caught up a little bit here on better movement as they both reached the elevator. What's this? Plot device. Is that Samus? Whoa, no, it's not. More details on what happened at main deck in 30 minutes. Both runners now just about in the same room. Herc first to activate the navigation deck with more text from Adam. I did talk to the runners prior to the run. Um, they will be making frequent saves, as you see here, Scotty taking the first save as Herc decides to skip it. Sector 1 can be dangerous here if you're not pretty good with your timing of your missiles. Some of these enemies, it's kind of like a running joke, but a lot of the enemies, normal enemies in Metroid Fusion, seem to hit harder than bosses. They definitely intended, because of the fact that you literally have 20 E-tanks that you can pick up. I think the developers intended the enemies to hit hard, because you're kind of expected to have a lot of health. Herc maintaining his lead, going down here the shaft, the pirate shaft, shooting a bunch of missiles just to make sure that he doesn't get hit with RNG here like Scotty did. Fortunately, Scotty did save. He is also not full up on health, which means that there is a chance that Scotty will get health drops instead of much needed missile drops. As you can see here, Herc accidentally taking a hit here, but he has 9 missiles, so he's okay. Coming up on the last stabilizer here. Okay, Herc did hit that. That's nice. Scotty taking a missile there, but he manages to recover. Herc looking a lot better on missiles than Scotty is at the moment. Here's another pirate shaft. Pirates drop 2 X's, and looks like Herc here is going to finish up with... Oh, okay, 8. He could have filled up completely. Meanwhile, Scotty with 4 missiles here. Herc is kind of safe here with attempting doubles on coming up Idor, while Scotty can only really afford to miss 1 double attempt. Actually, Scotty can attempt doubles for all 3 rounds if he wants to. Oh, Scotty missing the first double. Oh, really close race so far. Herc waiting for that last door, or eye to show up on the door, giving Scotty the lead. That's a 4 beam for Herc. Very unfortunate. Scotty attempting doubles here on the Core X. Looks pretty good so far, and he gets that double-double. Very nicely done. Herc is also going to need a double-double here if he wants to keep up. He misses the first one, so it'll be a minimum of 3 rounds here. He gets that second double, though. Oh, he didn't. Okay, so 4 rounds for Herc versus 2 rounds for Scotty. Scotty pulling away now, 9 minutes into the run. Very good execution here from Scotty. Meanwhile, Herc still not that far behind. A lot of RNG to deal with later in the run, giving Herc a chance to catch up. As Scotty executes some really nice platforming there. Now that they have Charge Beam, you'll notice in the future, that the runners will start saving 1 missile for boss fights. And when that happens, I'll explain to you why. Yeah, the view's alright. Thanks. Herc taking a hit there. He's alright though, as they make their way out of Sector 1. Okay, so Scotty is now at the navigation room once again talking to Adam. Adam has another task for Samus, something going on in Sector 2. It must have been an explosion or something that he wants Samus to go in and investigate. This is where the danger really starts ramping up. The Zoros, or the red caterpillars that they'll see in Sector 2, do tons of damage. I don't know what it is for hard mode, but in normal mode it's around 40. So they can really only afford to get hit 3 times before dying. Actually 2 times before dying. So they'll have to be very careful here. But these are experienced runners, I believe. Otherwise they wouldn't be playing hard mode, right? So I expect to see really good movement here in Sector 2. All right, then we have Scotty moving down this big room here in Sector 2, expertly dodging or killing these Zoros with minimal resistance. As Herc takes his first safety save. What you see here on Scotty's side is Samus unlocking the doors, level 2 doors, or the blue doors. Despite the doors being colored, you don't need any special ammunition to open them up, unlike other Metroids where a red or pink door requires a missile to open up and a green door requires a super. These are just the levels of doors that can be opened up with beams, bombs, power bombs, or missiles. As Scotty manages to get to his next upgrade, the bomb. The bomb, out of all the Metroid games, the Metroid Fusion bomb is probably the most useless and worthless bomb. You can't infinite bomb jump or IBJ in Fusion. Not even TAS can, I believe. Otherwise, I think TAS has to do like some crazy shot cancel, like spin jump cancel action to get an infinite bomb jump. While the average human cannot. The bomb fuse is 3 seconds long, and the explosion radius it's actually pretty big compared to like Super Metroid. The problem with infinite bomb jumping is that Samus as a morph ball needs to have a velocity of 0 in order to be affected by the bomb and be launched. So you basically can't be moving. You basically can't be moving in morph ball to be launched by the bomb, and that's what makes it impossible to infinite bomb jump. As they make their way through Sector 2, they'll be coming up on another boss. Very nice movement so far from these runners. No risk of dying here. As Scotty reaches the eye door, now that they have Charge Beam, they don't have to worry about setting up any kind of double missile shenanigans. One charge can kill the eye door, but it needs to be hit by the charge flare. After this boss, I'll explain what the flare does. As Scotty now faces off against Zazabi, the high jumping, springy, cylindrical, many-toothed, one-eyed, purple people eater. Scotty with basically average RNG here. Herc with a little better RNG. This could be Herc's chance to catch up as Scotty sets up for the double on that core. Very nicely done. Herc coming up on the last round here of Zazabi as Scotty makes his way through. If you pay attention on Scotty's side, I don't know if he said he will, but he may or may not attempt to do sack skip. He is saving, so maybe there might be an attempt here. We'll see. As Herc getting the sweet spot is now done with Zazabi. They pick up the high jump and spring ball upgrade Scotty's going for it. We'll see how it works out for him. Very nicely done there. Giving Scotty hopefully an 8-second advantage over Herc. We'll see if Herc decides to do sack skip or not. Herc skipped the save here, indicating that possibility that he's not going to go for it. Yeah, if you don't run immediately to the right when you fall into the sax room, you're not doing sack skip. Very difficult trick. Getting hit by the ice beam will kill you in hard mode, but in normal mode, it will freeze you and you'll be finished off by SAX's super missile. Additionally, touching SAX deals 300 damage in normal and probably like 9,000 damage in hard, so very, very difficult trick. I don't know if it was 300 or 700 actually. Anyway, it'll kill you if you touch SAX, no matter what difficulty. At that early on in the game, you don't have enough E-tanks to flat out touch SAX. All right, now that they have their high jump and jump ball, fun fact, the game calls it jump ball. It is not spring ball, so there's a difference here. Now that they have high jump and jump ball, they'll be making their way to Sector 4, in which another fun fact is the only sector in which the entrance to the sector is on the left side. Also, another fun fact with Sector 4, the yellow generators that you see in the background look very much like Homer Simpson. Scotty navigating his way through Sector 4. There is a health requirement here as they have to touch the water. So if you're here with beeping health after a failed sack skip, you're going to die in Sector 4 unless you find some way to fill up some health. Scotty navigating through very well. Herc not that far behind again, as they make their way towards the next boss. What? The boss is dead. You just saw his bones. What happened? Also, interestingly enough here, there are a lot of death traps in Sector 4. The other one here is at the eye door. Since it's submerged in water, you need a minimum of 40 health, just in case the eye door gives you 4 beams. It's very hard to predict whether or not the eye is going to shoot a beam or expose its eye. Scotty dealing with the hyper super mega fast Ceres X, killing it in 2 shots. 2 shots, how did he do that? Well, let me explain to you how the charge beam works. The charge beam actually has 3 parts to it. There's the top part of the beam, the bottom part of the beam, and the flare itself. The flare itself deals damage, so when you get really close to an enemy with that... Oh, Scotty doing a reverse Ceres exit strats here, executing very well. Not something that you see normal runners do. Saves a little bit of time, but he manages to get out the unintended way, which is a little bit faster. Herc also getting through with the 2-round Ceres. And gets the double-double, very nicely done. You'll see Herc here exiting the intended way. The game really loves for you to test your new abilities, so here's a room where you're required to use the speed booster to get out. So as I said earlier, the charge beam comes in 3 parts. There's the upper part of the beam, the bottom part of the beam, and the flare itself. The flare does 7 extra damage, and it's necessary to have the flare in both parts of the beam to hit Ceres in order to get a 2-round Ceres, as the damage is just enough to kill it. However, if you don't use the flare, you may end up going 3 or 4 rounds. Scotty, oh no! Herc might be in trouble here. Oh, he manages to get it. Okay. Herc almost lost his Shine Spark, and if he had lost his Shine Spark, he would have almost had to reset, as there's a missile tank down there that's very hard to skip. We call it the Missile of Shame. So Herc manages to pull off the Shine Spark just before his charge expired. Very, very lucky. As Scotty now makes his way to Sector 3. Sector 3 has a bunch of superheated rooms. However, you won't be experiencing any of that here, as the superheated rooms are conveniently locked. Actually, they're not locked. It's just not part of the route. So hell runs are not in order here. They'll be completely fine getting through to Sector 3. Scotty is coming up on the second and last missile pickup that they're going to pick for the rest of the run. Scotty with a beautiful Shine Spark exposing the hidden passageway to... Who did this? What scientist did this? Why would you put the thing that unlocks a door behind a door that needs to be unlocked by the thing? Where's the engineer? Where's the architect for this space station? I need words. I gotta have words with him. Alright, Scotty's going to attempt the... and he fails it. He tried the very difficult Shine Spark trick here that you can use to skip the missile tank, but it turns out that he failed it almost immediately. So Scotty's picking up the last upgrade here, the missile tank, or Bob missile, and that completes their 1% requirement. As Scotty now gets his super missile upgrade, they now deal more damage and shake the room on impact. Scotty running all the way back to see the destroyed door is also a trigger to start the next boss fight here called Box. Very good opener here for Scotty. We could finish him off. Very nicely done. Perfect fight. No missiles wasted. Ending the fight with 3 missiles. As Herc picks up his final upgrade, he will be getting his super missiles and will be fighting Box as well. Box is the only boss fight that doesn't have an... Oh no! Herc takes a death here from the giant side hoppers who do lots of damage. When's the last time he saved? Oh, he got hit by the spitter! Of all enemies! Okay, he did save in Sector 3, so he set back a little bit here. Very dangerous room. Both the side hoppers and the spitters do lots of damage. So Herc is unfortunately set back here. And we see Scotty now entering Sector 6. As I was saying earlier, Box is the only boss that doesn't have an eye door in either phase of his boss, I don't know, life cycle. The regular box doesn't have an eye door, and the X box, which they'll fight in Sector 6, also doesn't have an eye door. All right, Herc is going to attempt the room again. Let's see how well he does here this time. Okay, and he gets through just fine. Herc is now proud owner of his upgraded missiles as he makes his way to the box fight. Meanwhile, Scotty is now deep into Sector 6. The Ice X's here, I'm pretty sure will kill them in hard mode. But in normal mode, the Ice X's do 69 damage. Yes, 69 damage. Nice. And is not necessarily a threat unless you take multiple hits. Another E-tank that Scotty cannot get, and Scotty now is stuck in the room here for the second SAX encounter. If Scotty had less than, I think it's 20 health at this point, he will automatically die, as he's required to take a power bomb hit from SAX. So it's a good thing he's full on health here. Oh, it's 30 in hard mode. Ooh. And coincidentally, Scotty exits the SAX encounter with 69 health. Nice. And Scotty will take a save here. Scotty getting a zero beam and a refill on his missiles. Here's an interesting fight for you. The Megacore X Scotty will intentionally take damage here to kind of speed up the fight, but he needs to make sure that all the damage that he takes is intentional. There's his first intentional hit. Anything after this is not intentional. It could mess up Scotty if he doesn't play as safely as possible. He's good for 2 more hits. He needs to be very careful. And he manages to get through. Meanwhile, Herc now enters Sector 6, and he'll have a nice talk with Adam first, as Scotty picks up his various suit upgrade. Oh, look at this. The Various suit also absorbs the Ice X's. Very interesting, in that room where Scotty was climbing up the ladder, you saw all of the Ice X's try to attack Samus. This is a nod to how intelligent they are. You'll see in future rooms, now, the Ice X's, the X parasites realize that he is immune to the blue Ice X's, and they will start to run away from Samus instead. So small details here, which make the game really nice. You see there, the Ice X attempted to run away, but they can still be stunned by a beam.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Happen to have a sec for a quick donation?
Sure.
Perfect. So we have a donation from Light SSB with $14.21 and a message of great to see speedrunning for a good cause. Keep it up.
Thank you for that donation. We're at 3,814 and 21 cents. Can we hit that 4,000 mark? Can we do it? I think we can. Scotty now exiting Sector 6. He'll be making his way over to Sector 5 to test out his fresh, new, and the greatest looking Varia suit. The best color combination of Varia that you can find in all the Metroid series. Look at it. We're gonna get a monologue here soon, right? No, it's later. Just look at that beautiful suit. As Herc starts his Mega Corex fight. Herc said he'll go for 2 damage boosts. Oh, actually he's not. He's gonna play it safe here. Oh. Oh. He's got it. There are only 2 satellites around. Oh, 1 satellite around the Mega Corex here. No more satellites, so he should be okay. As Mega Corex turns into Baby Corex, Herc will finish him off here with some doubles and pick up his Varia suit. Another interesting thing about Fusion is that every sector has its one big room. This is the big room for Sector 5. All right, we see Scotty navigating through the maze of Sector 5, opening up the level 3 doors, the yellow doors, which will give him access to his next upgrade, which is going to be the ice missiles. Oh, Herc takes a death here exiting Sector 6. I think he's going to have to go back and fight Mega Corex once again. Scotty picking up his ice missile upgrade. With the ice missile upgrade, now enemies take 2 missiles to kill as opposed to maybe 1. Ice missiles will always freeze an enemy before killing it. So now you'll see the runners prefer the charge beam more so now than missiles. There are certain enemies that can't be frozen. Oh no, Herc takes another death against the Mega Corex this time. Fortunately, he does have a save nearby, so not all is lost. He can definitely come back here. You know, depending on how well Scotty does for the rest of the run. Right now, Scotty is ahead of his PB, so Herc's got a lot of catching up to do if he hopes to win this. Oh, what is this? Emergency? emergency in Franker Z. You want me to? I can't hear the audio though of the game of the race. I'm sorry, I can't sing.
To main boiler explosion.
But this is the time where you spam the Franker Z. It is in fact emergency in Franker Z. So let me hear the Franker Z bark as he barks so free. Bark, 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 bark. Franker Z. So this time, Scotty's going down Sector 3 into the first ultra heated room. Meanwhile, Herc is now making his second attempt at escaping Sector 6. These enemies do a lot of damage, so he needs to be very careful. Oh, please, Herc. Herc wisely chose not to shoot at the slug on the ceiling. Shooting at the slugs on the ceiling will cause them to fall on you. So he knew that, and he decided not to hit that slug. So very, very good call there for Herc. As he finally gets out. And Scotty getting a very nice double-double on that wide beam Corax. And steps on the platform to deactivate the emergency in Franker Z. So I mentioned earlier, and you're going to start to see this more often now, during boss fights, the runners will use all but one of their missiles. And the reason for that is that the runners, Samus actually in the game, Samus has the ability to do what's called an R shot, meaning you can hold a charge beam and tap R to open up your missile cannon, I guess. And doing so will allow Samus to shoot out her charge beam just before using the missile if she wants to. What that means is that you have the ability to do a spin jump and release a charge beam without breaking the spin jump. Not having any missiles means that you're not able to do the R shot, because Samus will not open her missile cannon if she doesn't have any if you tap R. So she can't release that charge beam. So it's at this point, it's pretty important for the runners to make sure that they have at all times at least one missile for that ability to use the R shot. Herc now pretty deep into Sector 5 here. He'll be making his way to pick up his ice missiles. Meanwhile, Scotty is going to do what no Metroid runner wants to do ever, which is save the animals. He takes his revisit into the main deck. As Herc opens up the level 3 hatches, he's now able to open up yellow doors. Scotty with beautiful movement navigating through the main deck as he goes up to the elevator, entering the habitation deck is what it's called. I can't remember. I think it was habitation deck. Executing the so-called impossible strat very nicely. Very, very solid movement from Scotty, as it is expected of him for being the world record holder for every single category of this game. And Herc picks up his ice missiles here. He'll be leaving Sector 5 shortly. Oh, really bad animal RNG for Scotty, but I'm sure he won't mind. He is about half a minute ahead of world record pace right now. Okay, maybe he does mind. This is really nice, man. Marathon run, a race, and the possibility of seeing a world record unfold in the marathon. Not only in the marathon, but in the finale run of the marathon. What more could you want? I'll tell you what more I could want. $4,000 raised. That's what more I could want. It'll be the trifecta. It'll be the everything that we wanted for this marathon. So I know you guys have it in you. Can we see 4,000? Can we see $4,000 raised in the world record pace of the finale of this marathon? Not to put any pressure on Scotty or anything. I'm not sure if he's listening, but I'm putting pressure on Scotty. All right, we have the emergency started here for Herc now, as he makes his way to Sector 3. And we get more text here from Adam. Adam, at this point, he says, hey, we're going to give you some power bombs, but this is the only place where we can give you power bombs. Back in Sector 5 we go. Sector 5 is very confusing, as it's the only sector in which you visit 3 times. Every other sector you revisit, I believe, except for Sector... No, you visit every other sector. But Sector 5 is the only one where you visit it 3 times in a run. And we get power bombs. You now have the ability to blow out your eardrums. Power bomb is very loud in this game. Very loud. And it also has the ability to shake the room. As Herc navigates through the heated room of lower Sector 3. Just a couple rooms away here from the wide beam Corax. Herc gonna set up for his double. First one looks good. Oh, and he misses. Oh, he didn't shoot the second missile on that second attempt. There. Oh, I guess the first one wasn't good. Either way, he picks up his wide beam, and he'll deactivate the emergency here as Scotty makes his way out of Sector 5. Heading back to the ship is his next task. Adam's got something really important to tell Samus, and he can only say it at the ship and not in the navigation room that Scotty's about to go to right now. Looks like Scotty's going to take a safety save here, which is a very good idea. Just before the ship, there is a long hallway full of not creepers. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Minecraft. I'm a Minecraft runner now. I'm sorry. Spitters or Genesis. Genesis, I think, is the official name, but we call them Spitters. As well as Gamers. So there'll be Gamers and there'll be Spitters. And the Spitters will one-shot Scotty if he's not careful. So hopefully he gets some good RNG here. These Gamers are the armored Gamers that you see. I think Super Metroid has armored Gamers. Scotty's able to get off his speed booster, so he's safe in that room. Very nicely done. If he got hit at any point, one, he'll either die, or two, he'll have to go back and redo his speed booster, as it's the only way through. There was an alternate route, but there's a missile in the way, so he can't use that route. So, Scotty saves here at the ship. Adama tells Scotty that the ship's been hijacked by some animals, and they're just going to stay in the ship. Scotty does a resave, which is really this is actually a really wise thing to do. And the reason why is if he didn't go for that resave, if he had died in Yakuza, which is the next boss coming up, he'll be forced to go through that entire text cutscene again. So Scotty initialized the cutscene, went through it, and then he saved again so that he could skip the cutscene in the event that he dies. Or picks up this E-Tank. And he skips the E-Tank. Pretty tight jump there. One of the few upgrades that can kill a run. Scotty's now baiting a jump from this pirate as he gets down, as Hurt is on his way to get his power bombs. Save the animals first and then get his power bombs. And we have the Yakuza fight. Pretty hard boss. I know a lot of casual players and newer runners have difficulty with this boss. Very nice RNG here for Scotty. As you can see, he's not spamming missiles like we usually do. Instead, using his charge beam and a couple missiles could serve as ammo here. Again, you'll see him use all but one missile here against Yakuza, so that he can have that R shot available to him if he needs it. So one more round here for Scotty before Yakuza breaks his legs off and starts spin jumping everywhere. Yeah, Yakuza also has the best music. Oh, Scotty actually uses all of his missiles here. It must be a new strategy or something. But he's going to make use of his charge beam, Yakuza, and his erratic space jumping. It is kind of hard to predict where he might spin jump to, but there is some kind of a pattern and kind of a way to deal with that, as you can see Scotty moving back and forth through the room. Very nicely done here. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, sorry, you have time for me to read off a quick donation?
Absolutely.
Andre the Accelerator has donated $5, bringing us up to a total of $38.19 and 21 cents. With the message, thanks for the awesome marathon. Big props to all the staff, runners, and contributors.
Thank you very much for that donation. As we creep closer and closer to the goal of $4,000. You can do it. So if you weren't keeping up with the story here, power has now been restored to the station, but for some reason, there is some kind of foreign plant-like entity that is choking the life out of the station. What's going on? Well, Adam asked Samus to investigate. Dun, dun, dun. And we have another encounter with SAX here. This encounter more difficult than the previous two, as there is a hidden tunnel that the runner needs to go to escape SAS completely. If this was your first time playing the game and you went to the room on the left, you would have been like, where do I go now? As SAS will not leave that area until you get to the hidden tunnel. Scotty coming up on the next boss, Nettori. Meanwhile, Herc himself is going to go with the third encounter here of SAX, this is actually an SAX encounter, but we go through it so fast you don't even get to see SAX, just one beam. Nettori, the plasma beam boss here, will take 48 shots of either charged missile or power bomb. And he'll be shooting his plasma beam at you. I'm pretty sure it's random, but it's fairly simple to figure out. It'll either shoot from the bottom or shoot from the top, and you'll either have to duck or you'll have to jump. And Scotty executing very well. Picks up some missiles from the green X's. Oh, misses the double there, but it's alright. He has enough health here. He doesn't have enough health anymore. Needs to be very careful. The plasma beam can kill Scotty here. Oh, that was almost a snipe. Oh, man. Wow. Scotty gets away. He manages to survive. Meanwhile, Herc is on his way to the Yakuza fight. He did save, I think. He'll need that save for sure. Like I said, the spitter hallway or corridor is very dangerous in a low percent setting. At this point in the game, there are more enemies now that can one-shot them. So they need to be very careful with how they move through rooms as to not accidentally get hit by any of these enemies that can one-shot them. Most notably, the Key Hunter just after Yakuza has the ability to kill you outright, as well as, what else? The fish in underwater, under lower sector 6 can kill them, so they need to be very careful now. It's very interesting to me how some of these enemies just deal much more damage than bosses. Bosses deal an average of 30 to 40 damage, while these fish can do upwards of 120 damage. It's just insane to me how that happens. Imagine that you're the space pirate captain, ruler, and king of all the space pirates in the galaxy, but a bony fish that's already dead does more damage than you. It's funny. I don't know, it's funny to me. Scotty going for the best shine spark of the game, traversing through 5 different rooms. Very nicely done. taking some damage here. He needs to be careful with the beams coming up. He's got to know how to like figure out how to dodge them. There you go. Very nice. He's at least aware of his health situation here. And he manages to refill back to full. So Herc is going to deal with Yakuza here. Meanwhile, Scotty taking another safety save. He might be on world record pace, but above all, this is a marathon run, and not safety saving here will be very detrimental to the marathon. So good on him for remembering to save, even though he is on world record pace. So we see different boss fights here from both runners. And Herc is going to go through the second phase of Yakuza. Meanwhile, Scotty is also going through the second phase of Nightmare. Oh, Herc takes a death from Yakuza. Unfortunately, he'll be sent back to the ship. Meanwhile, Scotty is manipulating Nightmare's movement here. Has to get decent shots at Nightmare without taking a hit. Nightmare, I believe, does 60 damage. I'm not sure in hard mode he might do more. He might actually just one-shot you in hard mode. Scotty carefully dealing with Nightmare here. Oh, that was very random movement from Scotty. I think it took him by surprise, but he was able to recover. More erratic movement here from Nightmare. It must be very off-putting for Scotty having to deal with something like that. Oh, barely, almost taking a hit from Nightmare. This should be a few more shots here to finish off Nightmare. Is he gonna be greedy? No, he decides to play it safe. I think he's just one or two more shots away. This should be the last wave for sure. Oh, so wait. He's got to be dead by now, right? Oh, Scotty takes a hit. What was that? 94 damage? Jeez. Scotty's going to play it safe here. He's going to manipulate. Okay, good. Just a couple more hits, right? There you go. Wow. Wow. Scotty here, he uses a power bomb, and what it does is it freezes the X's. The power bomb has two phases of explosion. The first one is, the damage explosion, but the second one, not a lot of people know this, the second one acts as a vacuum, actually. It'll draw in any X's that are in the the power bomb's explosion to one point where you can pick it all up. Very nicely done here for both runners. Herc also finishing off Yakuza, and Scotty picking up his gravity suit. And I see Zuma's in here. I'm assuming donations.
Yes, I do have a chance for a donation.
All right.
So Andre the Accelerator donated another $15 with the message, "Oh, I meant $15. This goes towards my monthly payment for a Varia suit."
Well, yeah. Thank you again for the donation. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the cool Varia suit colors anymore, but it's okay. Herc is now escaping the underbelly of the main deck, or the reactor here, as he encounters SAS. Scotty is going to save. Again, more danger. Underwater Sector 6 is... Underwater Sector 4 is not... Everything here can kill you, so you need to be absolutely sure of what you're doing here. And when I say everything here will kill you. Very nicely done as Scotty opens up the final level door, level 4. All doors are now accessible to the runner. As Hercules reaches the eye door here that will take him to Notori. Yes, I do smell. I smell nice. Again, 48 shots here for Herc to deal with the Plasma Beam boss. Ooh, that fish spawned right next to Scotty, and as you saw, Scotty decided to stop, turn around, and not get hit by the fish. Good reaction there from Scotty. Scotty wisely freezing the thing. I don't know half the enemy names here in Fusion, sorry. These puffer balloons also deal massive damage, and Scotty's able to avoid them all. As Scotty now picks up his final missile upgrade, which is arguably the most useless upgrade. Oh, Herc taking unintentional damage there, but he manages to finish off the Corex, picking up his Plasma Beam upgrade. All right, now we see Adam chastising Samus for picking up upgrades that were not intended. Or is that later? I think it's later. Anyway, Adam is mad. All right, and now Scotty is going to revisit Sector 6 here, the Dark Sector. Very nice space boosting there from Scotty, wisely avoiding the puffers. The puffers, when you shoot at them, they'll expel some poisonous clouds in diagonal directions. Also, when you kill them, they will also shoot out clouds. The only time that they don't shoot out clouds is if you kill them with a screw attack. Actually, they might shoot clouds out anyway, but you're invulnerable to it as you are in screw attack. The screw attack explosion in an enemy also expels in an X like the puffers do, so it's hard to tell whether or not they do shoot out clouds as they die from screw attack. I'm sorry, there is no entry without authorization. You just can't, Samus. As Scotty takes a safety save here. Herc taking a hit from the space pirate. That is RNG. It's going to happen, and if it does, it sucks. Ooh, Herc wisely morphing there, knowing that there's another space pirate about to shoot at him. Very nice maneuver there for Herc. As Scotty faces off against the Xbox. Yes, the Xbox. That's what it's called. We had regular bots, and now we have Xbox, which is regular bots that is infected with the X parasite. Easy work for Scotty. He needs to be careful though. This wave beam can actually kill Scotty. And Scotty picks up his final beam upgrade, the wave beam. Unlike other games with wave beam, this wave beam cannot X Factor, unfortunately.
Warning. No entry without authorization. Warning. No entry without authorization.
And we see Herc facing off against Nightmare. Let's see how well he does.
No entry without authorization.
Manipulating Nightmare's movement here so he can get clean shots at Nightmare's cannon that will phase him into phase 2. Very nicely done. No hits taken yet. Or at all. Sorry. Herc is going to use up all his missiles here. There are two ways to deal with Nightmare in low percent. One is to bait him into drawing closer at you, kind of like what Scotty did. The other strategy here is to manipulate Nightmare in a way that you shoot beams at him without having Nightmare stop what Herc is doing right now, basically. This is the faster way, however, it is very dangerous. Oh, Herc takes a hit here. Oof. Don't die, Herc. Oh no. Unfortunately, Nightmare runs right into Herc and he'll take another stab at it. Alright, as Herc faces off against Nightmare once again, Scotty is on his way to face off against the last boss that will give you an upgrade, the one and only Ridley. I hope you guys have your headphones turned up, because you should. Anyone out there using their desktop speakers? Alexa, turn volume to 11. Thank you. Nice zero beam here for Scotty, the final eye door, as he faces off against Ridley. How is Scotty going to deal with Ridley with only 99 health? Like we'll see here in a moment. There is this corner that Ridley cannot reach, and Scotty is making very good use of his R shot here. And just like that, Ridley made easy. You can do this in normal too if you're kind of not sure of how to defeat Ridley. It's a very good strategy for those who are learning to fight. Meanwhile, Herc takes a hit from Nightmare. He's leaving one missile. As you can see, he's using R shots here against Nightmare. You'll see his missile thing light up, indicating that he's opening his missile cannon, but not actually shooting a missile. But he does get the manipulation to work here, and it's just a matter of time now before Nightmare goes down. Nightmare is very red in the face. Just a few more shots here ought to finish him. maybe a few more. Scotty now is the most overpowered screw attack in the entire Metroid series. The only thing that can stop Samus's screw attack is Samus herself. And when I say that, I mean SAX. SAX's screw attack is the only thing that can stop Samus's screw attack. Any other enemy or beam or anything will not affect the screw attack, which makes it the most OP screw attack in the entire Metroid series. Coupled with the most OP charge beam in the entire Metroid series. There's a lot of OP-ness going on here in Fusion. Herc manages to finish off Nightmare and is rewarded with the gravity suit as he makes his way down into Sector 6, where he'll face off against Xbox. Oh, unfortunately, Herc bonks the wall there. He meant to shine spark through. It's okay. And we get a little bit of monologuing here from Samus. Words are spoken, and I think Samus is upset because Adam is upset. So they start arguing with each other, and Samus, in this relationship, she wears the pants. Samus says, "I'm right, you are wrong, now open the door." Adam said, "Excuse me, I wear the pants," and you saw Samus's eyes kind of get big there a little bit. She's like, "What? You better open this door." And Adam says, "Oh, it's just a prank, bro." And he opens the door. That's basically the dialogue. Just a few more bosses are in the way of Scotty and his world record. They are not pushovers, though. Well, maybe they are. Oh, Herc gets killed by the 1% fish. No, it was the space pirate that did him in, I think. No, it was the fish. Wait, let me look at this again, the replay. It was the space pirate. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh no, Herc has to do the nightmare fight once again. That's very unfortunate. And we are now facing off against SAX. Scotty manages to get that stun lock going on. Very nicely done. 4 shots will do it. SAX turns into Monster SAX. I don't think this SAX has a name, this mutated form. Scotty wisely choosing to skip the double missile attempts here. The beam will kill you. This is the strongest core beam. So he makes sure that he activates screw attack. As I said earlier, nothing can stop the screw attack, not even beams. As Scotty now activates the self-destruct sequence. 3 minutes until self-destruct thing. As you're not aware, you may not be aware, Scotty is over 1 minute ahead of world record at this point with the final escape sequence and the final boss coming up here. He is almost certainly going to break this world record in this run. Unless something nasty happens, I'm going to commentator curse this. Unless Scotty gets killed by the Omega Metroid, he is going to get the world record. Again, unless Scotty gets killed by the commentator curse, he is going to get the world record. And he goes for the vertical stun lock to secure the victory. GG to CScottyW for winning the race and getting the world record. And that's time. GG to Scotty here, finishing with his world record time of 1:18:26. Scotty is going to submit this run, and I am going to verify this run so that I can say that I verified a world record run. Wow, I'm very excited.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I take it you got some exciting news for us.
Okay, so I have one last donation announcement here to make. AE Scythe has donated $165 saying GG.
Thank you.
So we're ending the night off on exactly $4,000, unless anybody else has any questions. That was amazing, ending it on a world record run there. And
isn't it like the third time you finished a run too?
This is the third finished run today. Definitely nowhere near that close to world record on the other ones.
Isn't this your first or second deathless run?
Only the second deathless run.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
And obviously not even close to saveless.
Yeah.
GG.
Thank you.
I guess you did a lot of practice. So what was the? I gotta ask, what scared you the most? What part of the run scared you the most?
Coming into it or during the run? During the run,
because I know there were a few moments where you paused a little bit to kind of gather yourself because the room wasn't going how you expected or something like that.
I'd say probably either Yakuza or Nightmare. Because during Yakuza, I got hit once at kind of close to the beginning of Phase 2. And then I almost got hit again, but I pseudoed through the trash that he spits out, which I didn't realize that you could do. So I was a little bit surprised that I actually survived. Because the trash does a lot more than hitting Yakuza's head does. And then in Nightmare, I got hit at one point during the fight. And since the fight was already going really well, so I got a little bit anxious that I wouldn't be able to finish it out.
Yeah, there were a few movement anomalies with Nightmare that kind of got you freaked out a little bit, and I noticed. How did you feel about that?
Well, my PB before this hadn't gotten, or it did the safe loop around strat. So I was just paying very close attention to Nightmare there.
Oh,
to
look
make
at
sure
this!
that I could get it.
Look at this game time picture. So the Metroid amiibo was out in 2002. Look at this.
The best end screens I've ever seen.
And okay, so how did you feel about your run, Herc? Obviously, you didn't finish.
Had fun.
Man, there were so many. It was really unfortunate that you got past Nightmare, but then died to the Space Pirate in lower sector 4 and had to go back to Nightmare. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a brain fart. I mean, most of my deaths were very preventable and like very, very dumb things that I normally wouldn't die to anyway, like a slug leaving sector 6. That was probably the one thing that I released the shot and I guess there was just some delay or I missed or whatever the case may be, and I just died, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, run, you're pretty much expecting to die everywhere. It's just a shame that at a certain point, after dying like once or twice to like very, very bad places, losing a bit of time, it was kind of like, well, I gotta catch up somehow.
Mhm.
And I see
Yeah,
you're playing this new ROM hack.
Why not? I can walk and talk.
So how did you feel though, Scotty, about the whole thing in general?
The whole thing, it was decent for the most part. I'm just upset that I got a 3-cycle Yakuza.
Got a world record though.
Well, yes, but it was preventable that I could have not done that. Because I had taken my earbud out, because Herc and I were in a call the entire time. And I wanted to take an earbud out so that I wasn't listening to Herc during the fight. And the little rubber piece that sticks on the end of the earbud ripped off and got stuck in my ear. So I was trying to get it out during the fight. And that made me miss the opener. And then just that kind of let the entire thing to spiral out of control. Well, not out of control, but like it made me not even be able to get a 2-round or 2-cycle Yakuza. But other than that, things felt pretty okay.
The only problem I had with Yakuza is that I forgot that when he spins, his hitbox expands exponentially.
Does it really?
Oh yeah, because the first time I died, I was standing nowhere near him, and he started to like spin, and it just killed me.
Huh.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate.
That's weird.
Huh. Well, I don't have any more questions. Unless you guys have anything else, I guess I'll turn it over to the admins.
No, sir.
All
I think I'm good. Thank you for the race. Thank you for the opportunity. I didn't finish.
Absolutely. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, honestly, guys, that was absolutely phenomenal. What better way to end an amazing weekend than a friggin' world record in a marathon in a ridiculous low percent category by a wide margin. Like, thank you guys for the race and for all the contributions. Like, it was great.
Sure, glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us, though. Had fun both with my run and with this commentary. It was great.
Yeah, I had fun with both my runs. They were great.
I don't know about your Pokemon run. You should have won that.
Dude. I mean, I hit run, but like that's okay. I didn't hit run on the Metroid one. Stayed tough to the very end.